Good morning. You know, this government stuff kind of gets to you after a while. Some of you are probably really frustrated, either with governor or president or all of the above. It gets emotional. The problem is we got our eyes at this level, and we really need to get our eyes up one more level and remember who is ultimately in charge. I'm reading in Daniel in my devotions right now, and Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, he knocked the temple of God's people to the ground and burned all their houses, and then he took all the stuff that was in the temple and he took it back to his own land. He was so filled with himself that God gave him the gift of insanity for 7 years, and he ate grass and crawled around in a pasture until he finally got his wits back and remembered who was in charge. His son, Belshazzar, took all the stuff that had been in the temple and used it for a party that he was having. It'd be like taking our communion set and raising whiskey shots to the gods of fire and so forth. You know what they finally came to the conclusion of? Nebuchadnezzar said this: "How great are his signs and how mighty his wonders." He's speaking of the Lord. "His kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and his dominion endures from generation to generation." After his pasteurization, you might say, he said his dominion is an everlasting dominion, and his kingdom endures from generation to generation. All the inhabitants of the earth are accounted as nothing, and he does according to his will among the host of heaven and among the inhabitants of the earth. And none can stay his hand or say to him, "What have you done?" So if you're frustrated with government right now, I encourage you to lift your eyes up one more level and remind yourself who is ultimately in charge and who all these people are accountable to, and rest in the good grace of your Father who loves you. I'll see you Friday.